Hello and welcome back to another Bomb Bad Battle Report. Let's dive into some lists. Now, I've painted up Baze and Chirrut first from my Rogue One box, so I want to get them on the table. And I thought, why not do a little variation on my Worlds list? So in this case, we've swapped out Kanan for instead Cassian. So a little bit different flavor of Revenge Trigger. And that allows us to also swap out Chopper for Baze and Chirrut, which is a big upgrade there. We've got lots of scoundrels in the list, so with Rebel and Scoundrel we should be getting 2 rerolls for most of our units thanks to Callus. And the nice thing here is Han doesn't use a lot of force necessarily, so we can save that, make our force go a little bit further, maybe get some extra rerolls or who knows what else. On the other side of the table, I figured, hey, let's get Obi-2 onto the field. I don't think I've used him in a video since the May update with his fun new disarm mind trick. So we're doing that in a list that hopefully should have a lot of force because we've got some very killy units, plus some units that are going to refresh force when we get a kill. And that, of course, is Grand Inquisitor paired up with Iden and the ISF. We've got some good stickiness as well. Fifth Brother and, of course, some defensive stuff from Obi. And then Death Trooper Escort is just a very solid secondary for Empire here, moving people around. I'm interested to see how they'll fare into a pretty solid Revenge Trigger with Cassian. Obi-2 might be able to do quite a bit of work, though maybe Callus can get around that with some rerolls. We shall see. Alrighty, so Empire won first player, so they chose odds, and they took this side of the table because I've got a little bit better access to the middle if the X comes up, which you can see it did. And then also, fine access to the sides, a little bit of a backstop on the train car if that one had come up. Now on odds, I usually like to deploy the faster squad on the right to kind of go and attack back objectives sometimes. So that's why I've got Iden there and the Inquisitor here. And the train works well for that. And then for the Rebels, same thing. I've got Han and the Commandos over here versus the Cassian squad's just a little bit slower. So they're on the left side. We've got ingress points here, here, here. This one goes to both levels up top. And then I put one on the train just so that it didn't get in the way of deployment too much. Of course, with the infiltration on the ISF, not a big deal for the Empire. So, as we mentioned, the X did come up, questionable heroics. Supports are going to be challenging the odds. So, let's get to it. First up for the Empire, we have Fifth Brother. I think that'll work for us because he's a nice sticky model. I wouldn't mind just plopping him down. Now, maybe we can save a force if we really want to, but you know what? I don't think force is going to be so tight. I could have done a take cover there and then just advanced, but instead I'm going to pay for that force jump, and then I'm going to take cover just so I have another. I don't want to block the I don't want to block the ladder so early. And we've got that force regen, so I think I can afford a force for the force jump there. Easy peasy. The Empire is going to take control of 3 objectives, and the Rebels just 2. In response, the Rebels get their Shatterpoint. All right, I think I know what time it is. It's time for Baze and Chirrut. You know what's better than 1 steadfast model on the objective? 2 steadfast models on the objective. Ooh, are they going to make it though? Yeah, that should be okay, and I can go a little bit more direct. So, Baze. So starting off with both advancing. Yeah, Chirrut definitely gets there. We're in their ranged stance right now. I'm one with the Force. So I have no Force to regen at the start of their turn. Oh, sad. Pay 1 so that both get to dash. So we'll put 1 over here. Oops. And we'll put 1 over here. And then we're going to flip into the melee stance. That also is going to give them steadfast, which is really handy. And they're going to get their free focus. They natively get impact 1 plus 2 more impact from Cassian. So it's going to be some 10 dice punches. And of course, Fifth Brother has lost his hunker. One of these attacks I might want to reroll. Hard to know in advance. We'll just start with a coordinated fire for 1 damage on that first punch. We're obviously well outside of Obi-Wan, so no disarm. Here we go. That's a number of fails. Looks like we're going to have 2 crits and 4 hits going into Fifth Brother. He is decent at defending in melee, though. 2 crits, 4 hits. Wow, that's a lot of expertise. I think he's blocking all 4. Yep. So just 2 crits getting through. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to get 3, so we exposed him. So 3 damage down to 2. Ignore the shove. I didn't technically say which one was punching. We'll say that was Baze. Now we'll do cheer it. That's a better roll. So we've got, let's see, we've got 6 crits, strain, and 2 hits. Now, I'm just going to kind of place this off to the side here because we might want to do a callous reroll on a couple of these because we got 4 expertise and we might just want to reroll a couple of them depending on how Fifth Brother rolls. So Fifth Brother gets 4 blocks. I don't think it's worth re-rolling because we'd be looking for more crits. So we'll just, well, I guess 6 crits is already enough to run our tree. So what do we really, what do we really need? We'll do down and then up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. We'll get 2 shoves. So the first goes away for steadfast. The second, we're just going to use do a shove like that to kind of body block this ladder. And we'll follow up, actually, too, with... do we want to follow up with Jirit? I haven't measured the angle yet, so I don't have to. It puts him closer to the enemy. We'll leave him there. So, we'll flip that, score 3, and we are off and running. Oh, would have been nice to get the wound there and, like, challenge the odds or something, but... Oh, well, can't complain. Full treeing with crits is pretty nice. For the Imperials, now they're getting their Shatterpoint. So since Baze and Chirrut went on the Shatterpoint, I'd love to kill them here so that when they activate, then I could kill them again and maybe get them removed from the board. So I think I'm going to try for Iden here. We'll see how that happens. If I get the kill, Cassian can move Ezra up here. So we'd have to make sure Iden climbs up for 2 to 1 because Ezra would, well, win the tiebreaker, but also we don't control it. So those are all considerations. But do I really need to move these guys up? I will. Just gives me more options for later with her tactic there. Then she will dash. She'll come up this ladder. Then we're going to pay a force because I should have range for after this. If I don't, then that would be bad. Nope, that would be fine. So pay a force, come down here. The alternative is we try to come up this way, because if we get the kill, then we can body block Ezra, which means they would just move a Rebel Commando that way instead. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go that route. So we're going to advance here, because it's also just kind of good to not crowd our side of the objective too much. So we'll do an advance. Then let's shoot Chirrut. So we're going to flip into Burst Fire. And we're rolling 9 dice. Since we've got the Force Regen, let's pay 1 to expose Baze and Chirrut, because this is a wound we really want to get. Oh, and you know what? If I get the kill, I'll get to do a little bit of healing. So we'll just bring Iden back here. No, not there. We'll bring her this way so that she could, so she'll advance to there so she could heal Fifth Brother before she dashes. Again, if we get the wound. So 9 dice into an exposed target. That is a lot of expertise. We've got 6 expertise and 2 hits. That's going to be 2 crits, 2 hits, turning off a block. So 4 results, turning off a block. turn that off. Ooh, our expertise, they rolled 3 expertise, which all goes away. So just 1 block remains for Baze and Chirrut. I think that's enough. That's only 3 down the tree. I think she needed 5 down the tree anyway, so even if they had blanked out. Yeah, best we're gonna do, let's do expose and 7 damage with a pin. We could do 8 damage if we don't want to expose them, but either way, we're not getting the wound, unfortunately. So, dang, we went all in. Couldn't quite pull it out there. But hey, maybe we'll just farm some momentum for a little bit here. Empire scores 2, gains momentum. Okay, so both Shatterpoints are out of the deck. Nice! I like this. I like this for the Rebels. Because now we can try to get a kill with our Rebel Commandos and feel really, really happy and challenge the odds. So you know what? I'm not going to pay for the Dash Hunker Focus. I'm just going to... There's my range 5 tool. I'm just going to start with an advance because I think 2 shots into Fifth Brother should be enough, even without the focus. And we'll use that force to challenge the odds. And we'll put... I don't like throwing my bodies this far up the field this early, necessarily, just because... It's like my support bodies, because they are squishy. Alrighty, so we're going to do that. And then we'll start with this guy shooting there. So just 7 dice. Fifth Brother is less good defending at range. He's only going to roll 5. That's going to work for us. We're looking at 4 hits and 2 crits. He's only blocking 2, so 4 down the tree. We're just going to do 5 damage down to 4 with... actually, well, it will be 5 because we'll double up on the pin, and we'll give him a disarm. We'll pay 1 to challenge the odds and pull that struggle tracker towards us an extra 1. We gain a momentum for the kill. No revenge triggers from the Empire. We do get a kill dash from Han, actually. That would happen first regardless, so we'll find that dash tool. I wish this guy had gotten 4 down the tree, because then he could have done some heals on our boys Baze and Chirrut. But that's fine. You can't ask for everything. Yeah, Han's just going to dash forward like so. And then... We've got a second attack to do. Who do we want to attack? It's either Iden or the ISF. My thinking is the ISF are easier to wound, but they're going to remove conditions and stuff when they activate. So let's go after Iden, because similar to Baze and Chirrut, if we can wound her before she activates again, then her stuff's going to become pretty expensive. But some damage on ISF would feel really good. Because then, like, if Ezra can get the wound on them, that's double momentum. Okay, yeah, let's go after ISF. Let's go after ISF. If they're at the bottom of the deck, we could really hit them hard. Okay, that's a great roll. We're looking at 7 hits. And the ISF are only blocking... They're blocking 3. So 4 down the tree. Here we go. So now I could either do damage, or I could get a couple heals on Baze and Chirrut. I think Baze and Chirrut, 2 heals is not going to save them. So into the ISF, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage with a pin, disarm, and a shove. And we will get a reposition as well, which, I don't know which way I want to shove these guys. I guess this way? I don't know. Doesn't matter too much. Do we want to reposition to get up here? That just puts us more in range, but it makes it harder for them. Yeah, it makes it harder for the Empire to, like, climb people up here if I have a guy. And if they have to go around to the ladder, then that just makes it easier for me to hit them. Of course, I'm making it easier for them to hit my guys, too, but so be it. So, Rebels are not going to flip anything, but I feel really good about that turn. Now, if it's a while before they get ISF, Ezra could come up here, get a kill, secure that objective. Feels really good. So 3 more points for the Rebels. How are the Empire going to respond? Okay, well, they've got their ISF. which I think the move is. I want to say go with them now before they die, but it's going to feel bad because, okay, we go up, we kill Baze and Shirit, we put some damage on this Rebel Commando, I guess, and then it's going to be kind of tough to get both bodies up there, but we can make it work. Okay, I think we're going to get rid of the pin and 1 damage when we wake up. Or sorry, the disarm and 1 damage. We're going to pay a force. We're going to. This guy will break the pin. This guy will do that. But we got to worry about that revenge trigger, though. That is the thing. So maybe first we attack the Rebel Commandos so they can't move. Now, we'll say. I think I just need bodies here. We'll say we got rid of the pin because I don't think now I don't think I can make it happen with the without this because so we'll say I got rid of the pin when I woke up, so I'm still or when I activated, so I'm still disarmed. Then I'll do a move action. So this allows me to body block off Ezra by coming up here. So that guy will. Oh, I have a little more distance. That guy will go up there, and then the problem is now I'm punching, which I don't feel great about, but Baze and Chirrut are exposed, so you know, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's start with a disarmed punch into this Rebel Commando, because I'm hoping if I can somehow get 2 down the tree, then they'll be pinned before this guy kills them, and then they won't have a response. So we'll see how this goes. I don't love to be punching with ISF here, but is what it is. They did get their focus, so we're rolling 6 dice. So punch into Rebel Commando. We're disarmed. That's not bad. 3 hits and a crit. Rebel Commandos are only rolling 4, so they're blocking 3 though. That's a good roll from them. So just a crit going through for 2 damage, which is nice, but not what we wanted. Um, yeah, well, we'll go for the kill on Baze and Chirrut still, because what else are we really going to do? We might be... Yeah, oh well. Okay, so we're going to 6 dice into Baze and Chirrut, so we'll go into Baze, I guess. Good thing we had our expertise for that one, so that's going to be 5 hits. And they're exposed. 3 are getting through. That'll be the wound because with 3 we can give them 3 damage, strain, and pin, I believe. Do I want to pay to challenge the odds? I'm still so early in the deck, I don't think I can really afford it. Because I've still got... I mean, Grand Inquisitor doesn't really need it. Aiden will want 1. Death Trooper Escort would like 1. I'm probably losing this struggle anyways, so I'm not going to bother. So we'll just get our Force Regen from Grand Inquisitor. And then Inquisitorius can do a heal, so we'll take the disarm off Fifth Brother. And then we'll do the Aiden thing. So this was the guy who got the kill, so they're not in range to heal Fifth Brother, but anyways, I want to heal themselves. So he'll heal 1, and then... Oh, first he'll give someone a strain or a disarm. So let's give a strain to... Yeah, let's give a strain to this Rebel Commando so that if Cassian wants to pull a commando around, they're going to take 3 damage from that. And then we get to do a dash, which I think I'm pretty much already in a spot where I want to be. Because if I move away from here, that opens up Ezra. And I don't want Ezra to come here. I want them to have to move this guy. So, of course, there is Han. So Cassian could just move Han up here, take a shot. But I don't think I can really avoid that. Whatever I do, bad stuff is going to happen. If I come here to kind of not be shoved away by Han. Ezra comes up. So we'll leave it like this, and then... Ooh, I forgot about Han. I have to attack this guy. Let's bring Han into the middle of the board here. And we're going to shoot at this guy with 5 dice. So we are not in our nice shovey stance, but we are in our damagey stance. So there is a chance we just kill the ISF here with a good roll. Uh, yeah, that's a good roll. That's going to be 4 crits and a hit. So, ooh, bad for forgetting about Han. 4 blocks ain't going to help them. And I also have the Callous reroll there if I really needed it. So that's going to be a kill. So with 4 down the tree, Han is going to... Oh, this is diabolical. This is diabolical. Okay, we're going to go down the bottom of his tree. So it's going to be a shove. And then Han's going to follow up. Then he's going to get a reposition from his tree. Then there's going to be another shove. Do I want to bother to shove? Yeah, I'll try to get this guy farther off to the side. And then, because that lets me kind of get a little closer to where I'm going. Okay. And a total of for 5 damage, which is what I needed for the wound. Oh man, if I had kept a little optimism before this. Yeah, that would have been good. Oh well. Oh well, I forgot, because then I could have won the struggle on their turn here. So I get the kill, and that means I get a momentum. And now Han is going to do a dash. So he's going to come this way. Yeah. And yes, that will be that. And the ISF, their turn's done. They're not going to flip that objective. Han will flip. Ooh, I forgot to flip. Oh, I'm using blue for rebels. That's confusing. Okay, well, whatever. Han will flip that one. The Empire is just going to score a measly 1. So this struggle is done. Now we're just setting up for the next struggle. Rebels are getting Baze and Chirrut. Do I want to bring them back already? I bring them back now. They maybe get lit up again later. I don't think so. I'm going to play it conservative. I don't want them to die too quickly, so I'm going to reserve them and maybe go with them much later. Though that does mean I'm pretty low on force here. Okie dokie. Cassian. Cassian, my boy. I don't think I'm going to pay for his move right now. I'll just... I mean, it would be nice to get a body on this objective, because sometimes that comes up and it's locked, but nah, we're not going to bother. We're just going to come up this way, and we're going to shoot Iden with 8 dice and light it up. Just put some damage on her, and then we're going to, light up the town after that. So, 8 dice. Oh! Okay, I think that was a fail, and I knocked it. I think it was 6 fails. And 2 hits. So I don't think anything's getting through. Okay, that's a little bit of payback for all the crits Rebels got on those last couple attacks. So Cassian does nothing. Whatever. It's the end of the struggle because they're going to score 4, and now Cassian will use this town's ready to blow, and he'll roll his 3 dice. That's 3 damage. Luckily, maybe luckily for the Empire, the only people getting hit, I think, are Iden and Obi-Wan. So that's why I was trying to hopefully put some damage on Iden there. I mean, I could have re-rolled, I guess, with Callus, but it just... I mean, 1 expertise would have been 2 crits, I guess, but wasn't worth it, I don't think. We're getting kind of tight on force. Alrighty. So that's it for Struggle 1. It was a Very quick one in the end. Come see me again here for Struggle 2. Alrighty, so now we've got Struggle 2 set up. It could be worse. In the Empire could have chosen, these two rebel objectives and this neutral one. So instead, we're going the one near Obi-Wan. Unfortunately, Han controls this one, but hopefully we can deal with that. And then no one currently controls this since Baze and Chirrut are wounded. So the first double is going to be Expertise, which is where Han is camping out. Oh, I don't like that. But I like that. Death Trooper Escort. So he could move a support. Is that super handy? Not really, so I guess we'll just... I believe this is the same elevation. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to thread the needle here. I think of... Here, I'll come this way. That's just easier. So I'm going to come here with, so I'm using the tactic dash on himself, which means I can save a force, and I will just focus shoot with my sharpshooter. So 9 dice into Han. That's the bad number of expertise, 4, because that's just a crit and a damage, but he got 2 natties, so 3 crits, 2 hits and a damage. 3 crits, 2 hits and a damage. Han is rolling 5. Okay, so Han right now is taking care of 2 hits and 1 of the crits. He's not going to do better than that, so I won't bother with any callous rerolls. So with just 2 crits, I might not be able to get Han away, because I'll get a shove. But yeah, I won't get him off of this train. That's unfortunate. Well, I could go for pure damage, but no, I'll disarm him. I'll do the first shove, because then maybe a future activation I can knock him further away. So we'll do 3 damage, thanks to our expertise, with a shove. We'll follow up, and a disarm. Not ideal getting 4 expert. That is the thing. I don't like the expertise on how it scales on Death Trooper Escort, because it feels bad when it's like 1 expertise would have been better for me there than 4. And I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't ever be that way. Um, Empire is going to secure 1 objective, score 1 point, and that's it. So it's now time for Baze and Chirrut. They'd regen a couple force, bring 1 guy back here, send 1 guy over there. Well, let's see where the double is. Fail is over here. Alternatively, I could get Callus, or I could get Ezra. Yeah, I don't think I'm looking for a big explosive. I mean, I could get Han. Han could be okay, actually, too. Yeah. Let's see what we get. Callus. Okay. Not ideal, but not terrible. Ooh, do we send him after? I don't think I can. I don't think I'll have the range to send him after uh, the double. As funny as that would be. So we're just going to dash towards Iden with our tactic, and then we're going to climb. Whee! Then we're going to shoot, and I could use coordinated fire, but that would hurt my boys. So, is there a way I could be closer to my boys so that I could potentially heal them? Not really. I mean, I guess I could shoot here. We'll shoot after we'll dash, and then we'll shoot, and then we'll do our climb. So we could potentially do some healing on the Rebel Commandos. 6 dice. Let's go. That's going to be a crit, 3 hits, and a damage. I don't think I'm going to use any force here, so Iden. Ooh, a crit 3 hits and damage. He's only blocking 1, so that's going to be 3 down the tree. I mean, I said I was going to heal the Rebel Commandos, but now I kind of just want to put some damage into Iden. Yeah, let's do 5 with a expose against Iden. 6 actually, because oh yeah, now get the kill. 6 damage with an expose gets the kill on Iden, thanks to our expertise damage. So we get that. Get this. That means Han will get to remove his disarm and dash, so he will come back to here to be annoying. And then we're going to just climb here with Callus and sit there. We will take control of this, score just 1, and both sides are actually going to gain a momentum. So I couldn't really take advantage of the Empire having a slow turn, but so be it. Let's roll for the double before I draw. Fail again, so it's going to stay here. Good for Empire. Grand Inquisitor. I think we can make this work because he actually has some sneaky speed. If we can just get him to contest there, we can take control of that objective, and we could like throw our lightsaber at one of these guys on the way. It's not perfect, but I think it will work. And like Obi-Wan's pretty good at handling this objective, and he's still in the deck. And I don't want to spend a force on a reserve right now, necessarily. So he's going to start by telling Fifth Brother to dash, which will remove his pin. Then, well, technically Grand Inquisitor is the one who dashes first, so he'll do that. Then we're going to advance, making sure we can have range 4 on our Rebel Commando. There we go. And then we're going to throw our lightsaber. We could spend a force here. We've got Iden and we've got Obi-Wan left. I'd like to save the force just so I can threaten Mind Trick, and Iden probably wants to. So I won't spend the force for the expose with Enfeeble. I'll just throw my lightsaber. 6 dice at that Rebel Commando. That's going to be a crit, 4 hits, and a dash. So that's good. I got the dash I wanted. Crit, 4 hits, and a dash. That's going to be 3 blocks. So 2 and a dash. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Because I don't know if a dash alone is enough to get me there. Shove this guy back here. Follow up. So now I can either give them a disarm or I can take a reposition. I'm going to be close enough after the like, I don't think reposition, just because of where Han is, I don't think I can get like super close to that objective, unfortunately. So we're just going to put a disarm on the Rebel Commandos from our tree, and then we'll take our expertise dash, come over to here. Ooh, there we go. Come over to there. That's 2-1 on that objective, so we'll take control of it, score 3, and we're in a decent spot. Alrighty then. The double is block, so that's back to here. Good for rebels. You know what? I forgot that secondaries are challenging the odds. Oh well. I should have. I'll say it's missed. It's too late now. I should have challenged it with Callus so that we didn't end up landing on the middle. But so be it. Too late. Too late. Han. Okay. Okie dokie. So that means I have Ezra here. If I go with Han, seems good to me. So Han's going to pick. Let's start Ezra moving up the field. So he'll choose Ezra. First, Han gets to go though, and he. So since Ezra's in the deck, then Both of them are going to get an advance. Han's really happy where he is. Um, so he'll just kind of stay there. Ezra's going to come up this ladder, and he's going to hang out here. That gives him a lot of good options. Like, he could even probably get there next turn if he really wanted to. Then Han is going to start by flipping his stance over to Gunslinger, or over to Smug Scoundrel, because I'm going to get that shove pin nice and easily. And we're going to start by punching the Death Trooper Escort. So, or do I do the 5 dice into Death Trooper Escort? Because Grand Inquisitor does have crit mitigation. Yeah, I'll start by punching Grand Inquisitor. I'm trying to figure out where I want my rerolls versus where I want my. It doesn't matter too much. I'll punch Grand Inquisitor first. That is 5 crits, or sorry, 5 expertise. I'm going to end up with a total of 3 crits, 2 hits, and a reposition for Han. 3 crits, 2 hits, reposition. Rolling 5. I don't want to flip stances. I want that crit mitigation for Grand Inquisitor. He only blocks 1. So I think it was 3 crits, 2 hits. 4 down the tree for Han is going to be. Wow, I'm getting double repositions. I mean, I could send Han across the board if I really wanted to. Oh, it's been a little while since I put Han on the table. What a great time. Um, we're not going to really make use of it, but we'll do 1, 2, 4 damage. So we're going across the top for 4 damage, strain, pin, shove, all that good stuff. So we'll get our shove there. Whoop. That kind of puts him in no man's land, which is good. We get a heal as well, so Han's going to take a damage off. Very nice. And then he's going to, yeah, he can sit here, why not? And then he will punch, no, there's fine. And then he will punch pay 1 force to punch the Death Trooper Escort. So 5 dice. That's gonna. There we go. I got the crit that I wanted. A crit and 3 hits and a reposition. And the Death Trooper Escort is blocking 2. I said a crit and 3 hits, I think. So 2 is getting through. So that's going to be. I won't bother with any callous rerolls. I can't really afford it anyways. My force plan. So protection will take away the 1 damage, but it will be a pin strain. The question is, does the Death Trooper Escort pay a force, take 3 damage on the strain just to clear the pin? If I don't, then how do I clear this pin and strain and stuff? That's always the question. The thing is, it's like I could pay and then just kind of not. Yeah, let's pay. I think we're gonna pay because otherwise this pin and strain is just gonna annoy me in the future. I might regret this. I should probably trigger the strain on these Rebel Commandos at some point too, so that they don't end up with like 6 damage in a strain, and then stuff's really annoying. But they can afford to heal at the start of their turn too. Um, Okie dokie. So Rebels, I love Han for attacking Death Trooper Escort because of that pin shove. It makes it so he can't just reposition back onto the objective. So the Rebels are going to score 3 of their own. Both sides are going to get momentum. This is the problem. We're on the clock, and that's why would have been good to try and challenge the odds there with Callus. But I still have a secondary coming up who could get a kill. Okay, rolling for the double. It's expertise, so it's the one that Han just took. So it's either going to be Iden or it's going to be Obi-Wan. Okay, we get Iden. So she would need 7 damage to just kill Obi-Wan, right? Or to kill Obi-Wan, to kill Han right now. And then what? She goes, she kills Han, she takes this objective. And then, is there anything scary that the rebels are going to do in response. I mean, Han can punch her in response, so there is that. But hopefully she can be in position by then, so that doesn't matter as much. Cassian could move up here, or Ezra could move down here to make an attack on one of these objectives next turn. Yeah, because she's not flipping that, and I don't want Obi-Wan, so I think we'll go with Iden. And since we're going to be going for the kill anyways, I'll pay these 2 force for her focus, and then I might get it back. If I get the kill, I'll get the force back anyway to still have Mind Trick up as a deterrent from someone. Because if I don't have Mind Trick up, yeah, then I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's fine. But she'll wake up. She's going to dash herself with her tactic and then pay 2 for the dash and focus. Her her ISF buddies are both engaged, so they're not going to get any dashes. So we're going to put her. We're going to put her over here because when I get the kill on Han, I can come here, and then his revenge won't shove me off the objective. Okay, so 9 dice. That is gonna be, I think, 3 crits and 4 hits. Yep, 3 crits, 4 hits. So a total of 7. Han is rolling 5 because this is ranged. Okay, so he's currently blocking 2. So if Han wants to survive, I'd need to reroll 2 fails from Callus into block expertise or block. I mean, it feels bad to say let Han die, but oh, thinking ahead for Empire. Oh, good. Okay, yeah. So we could, if we get the kill, Iden could give Ezra like a disarm before he activates, so that's handy. It's risky, but if he does it, then Empire's in a really bad spot if Han can block these. So let's go for it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna spend for the reroll. Whoops. Okay. Well, 1 landed outside. I got the expertise. Is this gonna be a block? No, it's double expertise. So she had 3 crits, 4 hits. Han is taking care of 2 hits and a crit, which means 4 are still getting through. And that's going to be expose, pin, and 7 damage for the wound. She's going to, yeah, we'll give Ezra that disarm because I think that'll be handy before he activates. Getting a disarm there and a heal for Iden. She's not in range to heal anybody. Maybe I could have put myself in a spot, but yeah, I want that backstop here. So she'll do her dash, come up here. So, if we send Ezra here, so we know Obi-Wan's coming up next turn. So the thing is, Obi-Wan, he doesn't. Empire refreshes a force, and Inquisitorius unit can heal, so we'll heal the strain off of Grand Inquisitor. Yeah. So there is a Mind Trick here. Ezra's already disarmed. What I'm thinking is that Obi doesn't double shove until 3 down his tree. He'll get a focus. If I just put Ezra here next turn, Obi might have a hard time flipping any objectives. And I don't have the force anyways for Ezra to challenge the odds, so yeah, let's start Ezra moving that way. Okay, so he goes there. And then Iden will flip this objective. And we will score 3 for the Empire. What's it going to be for the Rebels? It's fail, which is this objective. Okay. So we'll go with Ezra, because I think that's just It's either Ezra or, I mean, maybe we just body it with, oh yeah, maybe we just body it with Baze and Chirrut. That's maybe the play. Because if Baze and Chirrut just walk over there, um, they also get a dash from their expertise, right? So it's going to be really tough for Obi-Wan to do anything. And that would still mean that Ezra could come over here and go for a kill or something. Though we won't have Force to challenge the odds. But I think Ezra can still do this, and we'll leave Baze and Chirrut because then they have a more flexible turn, especially given what we've done thus far. So, um, but yeah, if we put Baze and Chirrut here, then Obi-Wan would almost certainly not flip any objectives. So Ezra's going to move here. He's still a little out of range. Well, he's in one shove range, and we want to be in two shove range. So we're just going to take cover. We don't get our hunker because Obi's right there. But we'll do a tie break, flip that, score 3, both sides get momentum. And then it's time for Obi-Wan Kenobi. If I can pick up his card. There we go. Is there someone engaged we would like to move? I mean, Grand Inquisitor is not engaged. I guess we'll use it on Obi. We'll use Run on Obi himself just to heal one of these damage that he got from uh, Cassian. Then he's going to come up here, focus, and punch punch Ezra. Oh, we didn't roll for the double. The double is expertise. That's good. That's the one Empire already controls. Okay. So 7 dice into Ezra. Ezra doesn't have callous rerolls to try to get that defensive dash. But if he gets the defensive dash, we're feeling great. Uh, 1 crit and 3 hits coming through for Obi-Wan. A crit and 3 hits. Oh! Oh! Ezra, my boy. He goes 0 for 5. So that ambitious reroll on Han is biting us a bit because we didn't have. I'm just curious if we had the reroll on Ezra. He rerolled into 2 more fails, so it wouldn't have helped. Oh, I really thought he was going to get at least 2 blocks there, but instead we're going to do the double shove with 7 damage and another heal for our boy Obi-Wan. So Ezra shove. We'll follow up just to get Obi-Wan a little more central for that mind trick, and then another shove. Alrighty, and then the Empire gets to refresh their Force deck. So a missed opportunity for me to force a dead turn from the Empire. Maybe I should have just bitten the bullet and gone with Baze and Chirrut. But I was already thinking like, no. If I had moved Ezra this way and taken Baze and Chirrut this way, that would have actually, yeah. Because then Obi-Wan can't really do much, so he probably has to like double move over to here to protect to the point from Ezra coming up. Yeah, would have gone better. What's the double going to be? Expertise, so it's back here. We've got to take Baze and Chirrut out of reserve. So the question is whether we get rid of a strain or we regen to force. So the reason we would want to, if we take the strain off and then regen only 1 force, that doesn't give us enough force to move. So we'd essentially do this, or we'd do this, double shot into Iden, and we have Callus rerolls, or we do this, and we hope that a Callus reroll gets us double shove on Obi, but that's very unlikely. I don't want them to be too hurt, so I'm just going to regen 1 force. I'm going to play this a little conservatively. I've probably lost this struggle because of some of my decision making there on that last turn. But there's still a chance. I just need to get a bit lucky. So we've got 1 force, which will be enough for a couple Callus rerolls if we need it. Here, I'm going to go a little tighter just to stay out of range of Grand Inquisitor, and then Baze coming up here. Okay, so we'll start. So we're going to flip into their ranged side. I'm one with the Force, and then they'll get their focus, and we're going to be doing 8 dice. So Baze into Iden. That's going to be a crit and 4 hits. She's blocking 4, so just the crit getting through, that's a damage and a shove. That's good enough for my purposes. So I've got to shove her this way, and then I'll follow up this way. So I think she is still contesting. So Chirrut will have to get at least 1 crit through without Iden repositioning, or he'll have to get a couple shoves so that he can also end up on the objective. But we have our Callus reroll, so we might as well spend it here. 8 dice again. I can technically wait to reroll until I see their results, but what else am I going to spend this force on? So we'll just spend it now while I've got the dice in front of me. So that's going to be 4 crits, 3 hits, and a pin, because I got that triple expertise. So 4 crits, 3 hits, pin. 4 crits, 3 hits, pin. Iden's blocking 3, so the 4 crits and a pin are getting through. That's amazing. We're going to do... Let's do a double shove, not because I need a double shove against Iden, but because I need a double shove for Chirrut. Because 2 bodies there gives me better chances for the Empire to not flip the objective next turn. So we'll give her an expose. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, double shove, expose, pin. And she's actually pretty close to just being wounded a second time. She only needs 4 more damage, and she is exposed. Follow up. And then whoop, follow up, bonking into the train there. So I have 2 bodies to none. Rebels flip that, score 3. Both sides get a momentum. So it really is going to come down to, can the Empire score 3 here, or 2 and a wound would also win the struggle. Block is the double, which is up here. So that's not ideal for them. That's not ideal. What do they get? ISF. Well, ISF can just walk onto that objective and take it, so that is going to be just fine for them. So the ISF will wake up. They've got no conditions to remove. Since this guy's engaged with Cassian, I just want to attack Callus twice. Maybe we can strain him, give him some damage, and then he'll think twice about giving out rerolls. So this guy is moving to a spot where I'm contesting both. Same with this guy, just in case this comes up next struggle. And then we'll punch Callus twice. We're not spending any force. Why would we pay 2 force just so we can get 1 extra reroll, or 1 extra die? 5 dice. First guy, we'll say this guy punching Callus. That's just going to be 2 hits. Or no, a crit and a hit. So Callus is blocking everything except the crit. So that's just going to be 2 damage. Then the next guy will punch again. That's going to be a crit and 2 hits. Callus blocks everything except the crit again, so 2 more damage. So they put 4 damage on Callus, nothing special. But they do outnumber him on the objective. The Empire scores 3 and wins the struggle. So that's struggle 2. Cassian is going to use this town is ready to blow again. 3 more damage! What a game from the Castman himself. Max damaging this for 6. Iden's not on objective. Grand Inquisitor is not on an objective, so Obi and ISF. At least it hasn't been like a whole bunch of units each time. Ooh, Cassian. What a beast. Alrighty, that's the end of Struggle 2. I'll see you again in a moment for Struggle 3. Okay, so Struggle 3 is no such thing as luck. The Rebels really only got to choose this objective or this objective, so I'm going to take the one with Cassian. Now, I do recognize that just based on my camera setup, it's very hard to, from the side view, I can't really get both of the wide objectives in it. So I've adjusted the camera a bit so that the top objective shouldn't be covered up by the overlay. When the action happens at the lower objective, we'll swap to the top camera. So um, apologies about that. Not the most ideal layout for filming, but we'll go with it. Thanks for bearing with me. Alrighty, Ezra is not quite in range 2 there, by the way, and secondaries are challenging the odds again. Alrighty, so I think that's all the bookkeeping. Let's get this party started. The double's over here. That's good for Rebels. They've got a fresh deck. Cassian. I mean, Cassian can move Ezra there. It's not super useful. Like, this point isn't super threatened right now because there's really no one who can move Obi out of activation. So I think we're just going to reserve Cassian. The one thing I wouldn't want to get actually is Ezra, because then if I draw Ezra, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, now he's close to death and he's not going to reactivate for a while. Because my worry is fifth brother coming over here. But that's a whole lot of ado to say. I think I reserve. Well, do I just murder some ISF or something, maybe? Or murder. Yeah, maybe I just murder ISF and I do just tell Ezra to dash. Because as I say, I don't want to draw Ezra. I don't want to fill up my reserve slot and have that happen. So yeah, we'll actually go with Cassian. He's going to pay 1 to dash himself and Ezra. Do I want to kill ISF? Do I want to try to come up here and kill like Grand Inquisitor? Go over there, kill Aiden. Make her stuff very expensive. I think we can just kill these ISF here. So Cassian's going to come over this way. I could put 2 more damage on Callus to roll a whole bunch of dice. I could, and I'm thinking about it. Oh, and of course I paid not only to dash, um, uh, not only to dash Cassian, but also to dash um, Ezra. No, you know what? I'm not gonna put the 2 damage on Callus because I have an action, so I'll just focus. 9 dice should be enough. Focus and shoot because I don't need the movement here. 8, 9 dice. We'll say we shoot the guy in the back. That's gonna be 3 crits. So see, there we go. We had enough. 3 crits and 3 hits. They're blocking 2. That was a block. So 4 getting through. We're going to do a pin and a disarm with 6 damage, which will do the trick thanks to Cassian himself earlier on at the end of last struggle, I should say. So get a wound. That's nice. Then Han is going to shed his pin, and then he's going to shed his pin. He's wounded, of course, but we're just going to kind of start him moving in a direction where he's got options. Alrighty, so Rebels take control of this objective, and they'll score 3, and that'll be that. The double for the Empire is going to be expertise. That's not bad. That's the open objective. So it should be easy enough for them to get that, and they get their Shatterpoint. Interesting. I'm in a tough spot here with the Shatterpoint because I don't think I've got a good way to flip multiple objectives. And if I try to use it to get ahead on attrition, okay, I'm going to go with Aiden and try to get a kill, or I'm going to try to kill Ezra or something, then the Rebels can just move someone onto this objective, and that's really bad. I just don't have good proactive ways to take multiple objectives. And I don't really have any tanky units I can sit in on objective. I guess the best shot is just send Death Trooper Escort, because other than Han, it's kind of tough for Rebels to deal with him. Other than Han or, bodying him up with Baze and Chirrut. because I don't want to flip. If I shuffle this back and I get, say, Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan walks up here, either doesn't flip an objective and I'm toast, or he kills Ezra. Rebels move someone over here, and I'm still probably toast, though he is a secondary. No, I think we'll go with the Death Trooper escort here. So he's going to start. He could tell support to do some movement, but I think he's just going to tell himself to do the movement. So he'll do an advance. So he turns the dash into a reposition because he's got damage from earlier. Then he is going to pay a force to dash and focus up this way. And we'll come here, maybe kind of backstop ourselves. Han's wounded, so we're not worried about him. We'll shoot Baze and Chirrut, because it would be good to get damage on them. And our second action will probably just be to heal off one of those damage. So 9 dice. Baze and Chirrut. We'll shoot Baze, I guess. They do have cover because they're in their ranged stance, so they're going to be rolling 6 dice. That is more what I want to see. Only 1 expertise, so we're getting 7 hits and a crit. So 8 results. Baze and Chirrut are blocking 4. Yep, blocking 4. So we don't quite full tree into them. Let's do... I don't want to get the kill here now, not that I could anyways. We'll do 6 damage with a strain and an expose. And then they can't really be moved out of activation, because then they'll die. Empire will take control of this objective, score 2, gain a momentum. Alrighty, what's the double going to be? It's fail, so it's over here with Ezra, our guy. And then, Baze and Chirrut, how convenient. So, they will 100% be able to come over here and body this objective. So before they do that, what are they going to do? So they'll refresh 1 force, and they're going to get rid of a condition, so they'll get rid of that strain. So that works out well. I think, it'd be nice to get a kill on Iden, methinks, if we could. And kill on Iden, and we punch Grand Inquisitor, or we punch this Death Trooper escort. Oh, I forgot to heal one damage with the Death Trooper escort for his second action. I'm just thinking if we punch the Death Trooper escort, then we kind of get him closer to death, because death is one good way to deal with him, not jumping back on our objectives. Yeah, I think we're just going to do the really basic. You know what's better than controlling an objective 2 bodies to none? Or 2 bodies to 1? 2 bodies to none. So before we flip, we're going to spend 2 force. Do I even need to spend the 2 force? Can I? You know what? I might be able to save some force here. So I'm actually going to start by flipping. So we're not going to double tap the Death Trooper escort. We'll start by flipping into our melee stance, and then we're going to do Chirrut punching the Grand Inquisitor. So that's our 8 dice attack. My thinking is if I can shove Grand Inquisitor away, then I can just advance both of them to this objective, save some force. That's going to be 3 crits and 4 hits. So 7 results. Not going to pay for Callus there, I don't think. 3 crits, 4 hits. Grand Inquisitor is rolling only 5. He only blocks 2. So that's going to be a full tree here. 5 damage would wound him. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage with a shove, expose, disarm. Oh, boom. Big punch there. That's really good. Han can remove his disarm and dash, I guess. I'm just going to put him in the more closer to the middle of the board. So if he really wants to go cross country to go grab that objective in the future, he could. And then I guess we're going to do a shot. We'll do a shot into Iden. See if we can get a second wound here. If we get a second wound, actually, then that's game because then we walk onto this objective and score 4. So only 7 dice, though, at range because we got impact and not sharpshooter. So Chirrut, no, Chirrut just punched. Baze is going to shoot Iden, assuming she's in range. Yep. That, I'm going to set this off to the side so that we can see if we need Callus rerolls. But starting things off, we're looking at 2 crits and 3 hits. Iden, of course, is exposed. Doesn't matter. She doesn't get any expertise. She blocks 2. So right now, we are getting 3 successes through, which is enough. We don't need to pay for a Callus reroll. We're going to do 4 damage, re-expose her, give her a shove. She becomes wounded. I don't have enough tokens. But she becomes wounded. We get another momentum. We shove her more into the corner of the board, over top of my cards. Han gets to do another dash to go hang out somewhere around here. Well, this should have always been my plan A. Now I feel silly that I wasn't just going for the throat immediately. And then move action, Chirrut, Baze, full force, flip this, score 4, and that is a Rebel victory thanks to all the wounds they did. So, a bit of a goof there in Struggle 2 with how I responded, and even in Struggle 1, like a bit of a goof from the Empire. That's the thing, it's tough having units like ISF who have to kill. Well, they don't have to, but it's like that's how they get value and swing points is by killing into a strong revenge list like this. Should have probably thought more about, seeing that Han play coming and him wounding them on their turn. But then as the Rebel player, I also could have spent the Force for Optimism to win the struggle on Empire's turn, which would have given me a big leg up in Struggle 2, being the first player to activate. But is what it is. And then, yeah, I should have, when the kill happened over here, I should have sent Ezra this way, activated Baze and Chirrut, so that Obi couldn't do too much, and then Ezra goes over that way. Obi didn't get to do a lot in this game, like his disarm aura never really, like Mind Trick never really came into effect, just stuff happened on the other side of the board, and Empire doesn't have great ways to move him, and he was at the bottom of the deck. So, that's going to happen. For the MVP of the game, I was thinking about Mr. Han Solo because of that play at the end of Struggle 1, and then also his activation here, clearing out 2 guys off of that objective. He's a really good candidate, but I think I'm going to go with Baze and Chirrut. The way they started the game, just hammering Fifth Brother and holding on to that middle objective against Iden, and then obviously ending the game as well. My first and my last activation, Baze and Chirrut. So they're going to be my MVPs. Great time playing Han again. Really enjoyed that. He's still a really fun character. Like, this version is probably not quite as good as the Kanan version with Cassian, but it's still very strong and a lot of fun, and ended up being a good matchup into Empire here on Odds Today. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.